So hello everybody, this is Bhante Joe here, and just here in Pickering, Ontario, and thought to do a little Owada for the internet. So thought that maybe you could start with a little bit of meditation. So can lean forward a bit and arch the spine and look about 3 feet in front and close our eyes. And we can focus in on the breath. Can know when it's coming in and know when it's going out. If we breathe in a long breath, can just know I'm breathing in a long breath. And if we breathe in a short breath, can just know I'm breathing in a short breath. And we can focus in on the breath at the tip of the nose. And if notice any patterns of tension or tightness around the nose or the face, can just let those relax. And when breathing in and out from the tip of the nose, can be helpful to change one's perception of the breath. Sometimes can think of the breath almost as if it's in front and one is watching it, but instead can change perception so that it's almost like one was right in the center of the breath, almost like standing under a waterfall. So on the in-breath, one can be totally immersed by the breath. On the out-breath, one can be totally immersed by the breath. And can try to make awareness of the breathing process as continuous as possible. Being mindful as the breath comes in through the nose, all the way through the in-breath, as the in-breath turns to the out-breath, all the way through the out-breath, and as the out-breath turns back to the in-breath again. Trying to make awareness as continuous as possible. And before we finish meditating, can spread thoughts of goodwill, wishing may all beings all around everywhere be happy and at ease. May they put in place the causes necessary to be happy and at ease. And we can make our minds infinite, can make them unbounded, all the way to the ends of the universe and beyond. In every dimension, may all beings all around everywhere be happy and at ease. Okay, we can open our eyes and do a short reflection on the Dhamma. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Buddhang saranang gacchami, dhammang saranang gacchami, sanghang saranang gacchami. Dutiyampi buddhang saranang gacchami, dutiyampi dhammang saranang gacchami, dutiyampi sanghang saranang gacchami. Tatiyampi buddhang saranang gacchami, tatiyampi dhammang saranang gacchami, tatiyampi sanghang saranang gacchami. So, hello everybody, this is Bhante Joe here, and just thought to do a little Dhamma discussion, maybe based on a question that was at the Tuesday night meditation this week, which is a good question. And that question was, how do we integrate meditation practice into daily life if we're a layperson? And so there's a couple different ways. One of the things is that at least a couple ways that I know. Imagine there are many more. But one of the ways that's very helpful is to try to make a regular habit of meditating right before sleeping and then right when waking up. And it's kind of a collaring of the meditation of our kind of our day. And kind of a lot of when we go to sleep, you know, if our mind is all worked up, then sometimes we sleep poorly. We have a lot of poor quality. Maybe have some bad dreams. And then when we wake up, we're not in the best of moods. And it's kind of amplified. This kind of time of the day can kind of set the tone for so the time before bed, the time when waking up sets the tone for the rest of the day. And in contrast, if we have a very kind of peaceful mind when we go to sleep, we rest well, have a kind of restful sleep, and maybe good dreams, good thoughts while we're sleeping. We wake up and feel refreshed when we wake up. And this also kind of sets a tone for the rest of the day. Kind of the rest of the day can sometimes follow in that tone. So one of the best practices that one can do as far as meditation goes is to try to block off like a set amount of time before sleeping, set amount of time when waking up. If one is kind of new to meditation, then maybe like 10 minutes, 15 minutes right before sleeping. It's kind of the last thing that one does, even after one brushes one's teeth or whatever. And then 15 minutes right when waking up, one of the first thing that one does when one's waking up. And this kind of thing helps to set the tone for the day, kind of maybe the two wisest times to meditate. It's kind of, there's a sutta where there's a monk who comes to the Buddha and he says, I don't have confidence, just paraphrasing here, but like basically don't have confidence in the holy life, I'm all confused. And one of the things the Buddha says, he gives him several pieces of advice, but he says, okay, it's natural if a monk doesn't develop the aids to enlightenment in the earlier and later watches of the night. In the middle watch of the night, a monk is supposed to sleep. So, I mean, in the suttas, in the suttas, the recommendation for monks to sleep basically like 4 hours, and to meditate from 6 till 10, sleep 10 till 2, and meditate from 2 till 6. And then he also gave other advice, kind of being moderate in eating, and guarding the doors of the sense faculties, and not letting one's mind rush out wherever. And this is kind of actually relevant advice to anybody trying to develop a meditation practice as well. So then after one wakes up, as one goes through the day, then whatever kind of one lets one's mind rush out to, and be careful to make it rush out to wholesome things, kind of like things that build good qualities in one's mind. There's kind of, there's a lot of, there can be opportunity, kind of a smart, wherever, like videos or whatever to watch, kind of very graphic, or maybe like to watch violent videos or something like that. And this is a kind of a way that we send our minds out to external sense faculties that can be not calming, and can be kind of stir the mind up. So then as one goes through one's day, one kind of sends one's mind out to good and wholesome things, kind of this goodwill. And one has coworkers, one tries to interact with them in a way that's friendly and that's kind, kind of builds these kind relationships. And then, being in the person's workplace becomes a lot more pleasant. Kind of same thing if one is at home, has a kind of family, then one tries to build good relationships with one's family members. Basically doing one's duty towards them, trying to meet them halfway. Can you do my part towards you? And if you'd like to meet me in the middle, then that's good. Just make sure one takes care of one's own duty, does good deeds oneself, focusing in on one's one's practice there. And then there's also sometimes these kind of downtimes in the day where one's standing in line, maybe one's on the bus, one's on the train, kind of GO train or whatever it means. If one takes public transportation to work, then that's a really good time to meditate too. Kind of, if there isn't a meeting that you have to prepare for or anything like that, then can take that time on the bus to spend the time meditating, and kind of take that time on the train to dedicate it to meditating. And this kind of helps to raise the momentum level of one's meditation. And then as well, going through the day, just kind of in terms of the sending one's mind out to the sense faculties, also trying to keep a very strong basis of the 5 precepts. Kind of these, trying to make sure that we don't break the 5 precepts in the course of the day. Kind of things that help to keep a meditation practice strong, help to give it a good momentum, so that when one sits down again, there's a kind of momentum there. It's kind of like somebody with a room. If you notice, if you clean a room, make it really clean, and then you keep cleaning it, same amount, keep cleaning it every week or whatever it is, every day, then the amount of time you have to spend cleaning it to keep it clean is very, not that much. But if it gets dirty again, you sometimes have to spend a long time clearing out the garbage, and the time while it's gotten dirty, it's not that nice of a place to live. And so in the same way, if we set a good tone for our day, meditating just before sleep, meditating right when waking up, set a good tone, sending our mind out to wholesome speech and the people we interact with, wholesome intentions, intentions of metta, intentions of goodwill for them, intentions of compassion, intentions of like empathetic joy, they do well, and we're happy for them. And then also, we learn to, bring our mind, restrain our mind in terms of the precepts, in terms of the 5 precepts. And what all this does, it creates a kind of momentum where, we set a good tone for our day, we clean our mind out a bit in the morning, and then we keep it clean as we keep going through our day. And then when we sit down to meditate again at night, it's already clean. We don't have to do any more, or, it's already much cleaner. We don't have to do much, a lot of work to get it to settle down. And so when we build momentum in our meditation practice like this, then we can get less affected by the external things that come in and impinge on us during the course of our day. And taking this momentum, we can invest it again and maybe doing a little bit more once we get comfortable with meditating. Might be able to meditate for like a half hour in the morning, 15 minutes at night, this kind of thing. And then basically, trying to make our mindfulness, our practice of meditation more continuous, make our focus on the object more continuous, make our mind more and more free of, unnecessary thinking as we go through the day. Basically becoming a simpler person, a person who's kind of And kind of like water, water gets stirred up, there's all these silt in it, and then, kind of, the less it gets stirred up, the more it just kind of settles down. It's kind of, it's all right. So then this is the same way that our mind can become. We kind of keep investing it in good things, keep restraining it from the bad things, keep sending it out to wholesome things. Our mind becomes a wholesome place to be. And that momentum carries over into our meditation practice. So those are just a few thoughts on kind of keeping the momentum going for meditation in just regular daily life. Oh, and there was one more thing. If one has kind of like independent, works like for oneself or has the ability to set one's own schedule, one can also block off like, say 10 minutes an hour and just stop whatever one's doing and then devote that 10 minutes an hour to meditate. It kind of, sets a kind of, helps to keep the momentum going of meditation during the day. So I think that's all the thoughts or that's, all that I could personally think of. There may be many other ways, but I just thought to pass those along for anybody who might be useful, and hope that everybody has a great day, and wishing you the best. Till next time.